Okay, so if you're involved with a nonprofit, you already know the biggest struggle, right? Just getting your message heard. Well, today, we're going to break down this incredible and honestly often overlooked tool from Google that's built to solve that exact problem. It's called the Google Ad Grants Program.
So what is it? Get this, it's $10,000 a month in free advertising credit to use on Google Search. And no, that's not a one-time deal. It's a recurring resource, month after month, to fuel your mission.
Just take a second and really let that sink in. What could your nonprofit do with an extra 10 grand a month for ads? Think about your fundraising goals, your volunteer drives, your community outreach. That's the kind of potential we're talking about unlocking.
All right, let's dig into the fundamentals here. The best way to think of this grant isn't just as ad credit. Imagine it as a giant $10,000 megaphone handed to you every single month to amplify your voice.
At its heart, this is one of Google's philanthropic programs. It's what's called in-kind advertising, which is just a fancy way of saying they're not handing you cash, but they're giving you ad credit. This lets you run those text-based ads that pop up in Google search results, connecting you with people at the exact moment they're searching for causes just like yours.
And this is where it gets really powerful. This isn't just about clicks. It's about real-world impact. You can build awareness and reach a huge audience. You can send potential donors straight to your donation pages. You can find passionate people who are literally typing volunteer opportunities near me into Google. And you can make sure your next fundraising event is completely packed. It is so incredibly versatile.
Now, of course, a grant this good is going to have some rules. It's not a free-for-all. So let's get to the most important question. Who can actually apply for this thing?
The main criteria are actually pretty straightforward. To be eligible, you need to have a valid charity status. For example, in the US, that's being a 501c3. You also need a high-quality, secure website that uses HTTPS, with the little lock icon. Now, on the flip side, government organizations, hospitals, and schools usually don't qualify. But, and this is an important detail, the charitable foundations or philanthropic arms of those institutions sometimes can be eligible, so it's always worth checking.
So, are you thinking you might be eligible? Fantastic. Now let's walk through the actual steps to claim your grant. It's a pretty clear path.
Here's the roadmap from start to finish. It all kicks off with getting verified through Google for Nonprofits. That's job one. From there, you just make sure your website is up to snuff. Clear mission, good content, that sort of thing. Then you apply, set up a basic ad account, and send it over to Google for review. Once you get that green light, you're off to the races and ready to launch your first campaign.
Now, getting the grant is a huge victory, for sure. But the real work and the real impact starts with how you actually manage it. This is definitely not a set-it-and-forget-it kind of tool.
Okay, if you remember one rule from all of this, let it be this one. Your account must maintain a 5% average click-through rate, or CTR. What does that mean? Well, for every 100 people who see your ad, at least 5 of them need to click on it. If you drop below that 5% threshold, your account can get suspended. It's really just Google's way of making sure the ads are relevant and useful. So how do you keep that CTR high and get the most bang for your buck? It all comes down to one word: relevance. You have to target keywords that are directly tied to your mission. You need to write ads that make people want to click. It's also crucial to use negative keywords to filter out the wrong kind of searches. For instance, an animal shelter looking for adoptions might block the word jobs. And then, of course, make sure the page they land on is designed to get them to take action. Tracking those actions and logging in every month, those are totally non-negotiable.
Here's a perfect example of what I mean. Instead of a super broad keyword like just volunteer, think about how much more effective a specific long-tail keyword is. Something like volunteer opportunities in London for animal shelters. The person searching that has a much clearer idea of what they want, right? That means higher quality traffic for you and a much, much better click-through rate.
And finally, let's talk about the flip side, the common mistakes you want to avoid. These are the things that can either get your account suspended or just completely waste this amazing opportunity. Using those vague keywords we just talked about is a big one. Another is just neglecting the account, not logging in to make improvements, or failing to track if your ads are actually working to get donations or signups. And of course, the big one, letting that CTR drop below 5%. Avoiding these pitfalls is just as important as doing all the right things.
Look, when it comes down to it, the Google Ad Grant is so much more than just free advertising. It's a direct connection to the people who need you and the people who want to support you. Your mission is absolutely vital. So the only question left is, are you using every tool you have to make sure the world hears it?